Hello and good day, everyone. Welcome to the fifth edition of Legal Insight. Today is Friday, the 13th day of February 2026, and we are going to continue our discussion on partnership. If you could remember, in the last couple of weeks, we look at the concept of partnership, and in the fourth edition of the program, we commence our discussion on limited partnership, where we'll look at the concept of limited partnership, where we say under limited partnership, we have at least a general partner or other partners, and the general partner is responsible for the day-to-day management of the partnership, while other partners are not engaged in the management of the partnership. And because the general partner is responsible for the day-to-day management of the partnership, his liabilities are limited, whereas the liability of other partners who are not general partners in the partnership, their liability is limited to the level of their contribution in the partnership. So in this particular edition, we are going to look at the concept of limited liability partnership, and we are going to look at the similarities and also the areas of divergence between limited partnership and limited liability partnership. A limited liability partnership is a form of partnership that once it is incorporated, it becomes a body corporate, distinct and separate from its members. That is why it shares some similarities with a limited liability company, because just like a company, a limited liability partnership has perpetual succession. That means the death of a partner or partners does not affect the existence of the partnership. It can also own and dispose property. It can buy land and sell the land as well. It can also sue and be sued in its own name. So, what are the requirements for the registration of limited liability partnership? The law provides that there shall be at least two persons for the registration of limited liability partnership. These persons can be individuals or a body corporate and an individual. However, it is important to state that in case of an individual, a person who is of an unsound mind cannot be a partner in a limited liability partnership. The other disqualification is bankruptcy. A person who is declared bankrupt can also not, be a partner in a limited liability partnership. I think it is also important to state that this issue of bankruptcy can apply to an individual or a body corporate. A person is said to be bankrupt if he is unable to pay his debt. So a company that is declared bankrupt by a court cannot be a partner in a limited liability partnership. The same thing applies to the individual. The information that is required for the registration of limited liability partnership are very simple and straightforward. They are as follows. 1. The name of the partnership. 2. The proposed business of the partnership. 3. The registered address of the partnership. 4. The name and address of each of the partners. And 5. The name and addresses of the designated partners. Now, if you have this information, you are good to go. The partners can decide to, register their partnership themselves or engage the services of a legal practitioner for the registration. It is preferable that you engage the service of a legal practitioner, but I'm not speaking in this way because I'm a legal practitioner. The reason being that, there are certain presumptions of law that will be applicable if the parties did not prepare and file their partnership agreement with the regulatory body. So in order to have your own partnership agreement, you engage the service of a lawyer for the registration, so that in the course of the registration, you will now prepare a partnership agreement based on the agreement between the parties and looking at the environment where the partnership operates. So you engage the service of a legal practitioner to do that for you. This brings us to the conclusion of this edition of Legal Insight, the fifth edition. If you enjoyed this edition, stay tuned for more editions. I can tell you that there are interesting topics lined up for you in order to be guided as far as your businesses are concerned in the corporate world. Legal Insight is here to break down the laws to your own understanding. If you have any suggestion or comment, you can type them in the comment section, and I can guarantee you that we are going to respond appropriately. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more editions. Bye bye. Have a nice day.